was. um,
he looked straight at the ground then, like David Beckham did in Euro 2004.
Well, he got a smile on his face. I'd like to go out there and slap him, take that smile off. But a bit embarrassed. I don't know what he was thinking about there, but anyway, he didn't do it. Right then, we're more than halfway through the first half. It is goalless. It's going to be Paul now to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, it's not exactly end-to-end, this game. Both sides have had their spells of 10 minutes each, and now we're just finding a period where they're both coming together. And certainly we've not seen both goalkeepers thrust into action too much, so it's not been that kind of game, but it's been intriguing, if anything, and it certainly can't take your eyes off it. There's already been a little bit of a twist there with Leeds having to make an early change, and Derby started well but been put under pressure by the Whites, although they're playing in a garish away kit today of some sort of blue, isn't it? So
it's truly awful, the kit. It really is.
Derby in their traditional white and black, of course.
Leeds did used to always wear a yellow strip away from home, which I thought was all right.
The ball played forward again. Here's an opportunity. Kemar Roof is in the middle for it, but he couldn't quite get the ball from Harrison, and Derby come away with it.
I thought he took one touch too many there, Harrison. I thought that instead of just switching that ball to Kemar Roof, first time ball, he took a touch, and then that allowed the angle to be closed by Jaden Bogle, who then got a good touch in, and of course the ball didn't end up with Roof, but again, Leeds creating a little overlap there.
Yeah, they certainly were. He's played with Cooper. There you go, square then for Berardi. Cooper again. Berardi, and it's Leeds just keeping hold of possession, just trying to keep hold of tempo. This fast football as they get forward. Good work, interchange of passing there with Harrison, Roof, and now Dallas. And Dallas back with Berardi, and now with Scottish international Liam Cooper, who doesn't sound like he's from Scotland at all, the big Hull accent that Liam Cooper's got. Inside is possession with Leeds. They switch to the flank. Shackleton's ball trying to find Ayling, and the ball goes out of play. Ayling had to sort his hair out before as well at the sidelines when Leeds were making the substitution.
Yeah. You'd have thought you'd sort yourself out when you like that before you went to the field of play. But there we go. So, yeah, but plenty of sport today, isn't there? Salford have got themselves in the league. Good for them. And although the game at Wembley wasn't particularly well attended for that, the Grand Prix they've been qualifying, haven't they? And I think it's the big game out of the rugby union, isn't it, today? And of course England playing cricket as well, so they seem to be doing well.
There's the ball back down for the far side as Leeds look to try and break it forward. Derby in particular just can't get the ball off Leeds at the moment, trying to dominate it. Very flat surface at Southampton, it would appear. Looks like you can bat all day on that, doesn't it, really? As Leeds come forward again. Here's Harrison. Roof goes on the overlap. Little touch from Shackleton trying to feed the ball to him. Little touch over the top then. Click it was, trying to get the ball. The cross comes in over the top. Oh, he couldn't get the ball under control for Hernandez. It was just a little touch before the little Spaniards could get a header onto that.
Do you know what? This game at the minute, dare I say it, is following the pattern of the Leeds Derby games earlier in the season. Little ball into the box and a poor touch by Jamie Shackleton. Couldn't bring that ball in. But they're getting around the back too easily, aren't they, Leeds? And, eventually they're going to get a tap in it. If you've got enough bodies in the box, it doesn't matter whether your top scorer's in there or not. I think me and you could side foot one in from 4 yards. So, and that's where they're playing at the minute. So, Derby have got to be careful here.
I'd give it a good go anyway. Here's Roof. Not too much, though, because you don't want to go over the bar at 4 yards there.
Well, no blammers anyway.
No.
I'm not one for ball on skin action. All that. Fair weather football for me.
Oh, yes. Coming up to half an hour gone. It's 0-0. As I say, enthralling game this, really.
Just looking at the Derby bench, by the way, again, I'm not blown away.
Jack Marriott, maybe. Maybe the one that you look at as a talented forward for them, but...
I wouldn't know what to do with Huddleston anymore.
No.
But I thought, I think he played in one of the earlier games and he just looked so static. But here is Dwayne Holmes. He's not static. It's a good ball forward as well. But out comes Casilla. And that's a very brave take from him under pressure.
Yeah, Mason Mount making the drive into the middle there. Might have been Harry Wilson, in actual fact. But look how much Holmes just drives at the defenders there, doesn't he? And forces them to step back.
I think I've seen it quite a lot against Leeds. It was quite successful. Somebody's got speed just driving at them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pass the ball because you're going to lose it. They're looking to pick up that ball. But if you run at them and you're quick, they don't like it.
Here come Leeds, though. Matthias Klick there trying to bet the ball square. And there was a foot in there over the far side by Jaden Bogle. He needed to as well because that ball was making its way through to Jack Harrison. Which Dallas with the throw instead, who finds Shackleton. And again, Leeds just keep hold of possession with Phillips through to Hernandez, who's cut inside now. It's an ambitious ball for Dallas. Can he keep the ball in play? No, he can't. It's going to be a throw.
Yeah. Right then, we're looking at players who maybe haven't started so well. I think Jaden Bogle is under pressure out on that right-hand side.
Yeah.
I don't see that he's getting a great deal of coverage. They're 4-3-3 out there, and you know what that means. If you're 4-4-2, you've got, you're doubling up on a flank. If you're 4-3-3, your right back can be hung out to dry. I think the Derby formation actively helps Leeds get on the front foot, personally.
Yeah.
And I think the 18-year-old Jaden Bogle's having a difficult time. And out the other flank, Scott Malone may be 28, but he's a big lad for a left back, and I just think he'd started the game really nervously for whatever reason, But here come Leeds down his flank this time, and Tamori has got to slide out. I think problems with both the fullbacks. Tamori's got to be on his game, so too is Keogh, but if they get dragged out too much, leaves gaps through the middle.
Certainly does. Quickly taken throw by Ayling, trying to get the ball inside for Shackleton. It's possession again with Leeds. Phillips goes wide to Ayling. Here is Klick. And now with Ayling. Hernandez, little flick Ayling, goes central, but heavy touch, but somehow Leeds win it back down the right-hand side. Hernandez, surrounded by Leeds players, tries to flick the ball off of Mason Mount, and certainly wins his side of... No, he doesn't. I thought that came off.
Yeah, it looked like it just clipped off the player, but the referee couldn't see it. Not sure. Referee having a word with Tamori about what? I don't know. But I don't know what he's given here.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, we just saw a two-footed slide in then on Jamie Shackleton. He was off the air. He's got a warning there, hasn't he?
Yeah, you know what? You can say what he likes, but I don't like the style of that.
No.
He's out of control. He's up in the air. Right, he gets the ball first, but he's like one of those. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We talked about it from age ago. Liam Ridgewell sees the ball. He's going to win it, and he's going right through Theo Walcott, breaks his leg.
Yeah.
Now, he won the ball, but that sort of challenge has been outlawed for that very reason. You don't get carte blanche to go in and thump somebody. There's Holmes there and Eileen having a little moment together. There was no animosity, was there?
No, not with that. So we've had 34 minutes of this game. It's 0-0. If you're looking for shots and chances, then look elsewhere. But it is a battle in midfield.
You made it a 0-0, haven't you? No way could this game be 0-0.
No way. Not the way it started. No way. Oh dear. So let's hope. There's a little header on from Roof, trying to get a driving run there of Klick. He tries to take Tamori with him, but he can't beat Tamori, the Chelsea loanee.
Well, that ball ain't going to go out, is it?
No. Klick just can't get the ball from Tamori. There's a good foot in there from Ayling. It's a strong challenge comes in. There's some bite to this, though, isn't there? Bit of feeling between these two sides. I know over the course of the years and whatnot with the Clough Don Revie thing, but even in recent times with Spygate and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't think there's a great deal of animosity really, but I mean clearly Derby would like to forget all the Spygate thing and just to play better in that game.
Yeah.
Obviously it got blown out of all proportion. Bielsa I think did quite well out of that. Shackleton trying to work it into the area, but he can't. Kimaru said, "Look, I'm wide open. Find me." Derby made a positive start, but I think they're just getting beaten up again, like they've done twice this season by Leeds. And I don't know what it is about. I don't know if they are 4-3-3 today or what their formation is, but for me, it's not working. They're not covering the fullbacks well enough. Maybe it's just a lack of energy in their team. I'm looking at Dwayne Holmes and thinking, you're it, because at least he's running around. If this game's come too soon in the development of Mason Mount, where he's gone quiet, Bradley Johnson, we know he'll just run around in the middle of the park, and here comes Kemar Roof.
Kemar Roof again trying to get the cross into the box for Click, but it's cleared away into touch, and Leeds again having the better of this fixture so far. Again, they're yet to force Kelly Roos into any saves, but looking dangerous. Dallas has it, left foot across, is deep to the back post, and Roos comes this time and gathers and rolls the ball out.
Yeah, it's a good throw that in by Keller Roos, and he gets them on the front foot now. An opportunity for Lawrence, but he's quickly surrounded. There's a lot more energy from Leeds, but he bypasses three challenges here. Maybe a chance then at the edge of the area. Holmes buys some time. Ball still fizzing and buzzing around the area, but looks like Leeds have just about dealt with it.
Have. Yeah, you mentioned before about the Derby squad being a bit meh. Like so, and I think you're probably right then if they've got him in the squad there, I think. So he's
F.A. Ambrose.
Yeah, don't think he's played too much, has he?
Yeah.
So he was hounded out of Celtic, wasn't he, for being rubbish? But various managers having a go at him. So
yeah, looking at the squad, I mean, there are one or two eye-catching players, really. I've always liked Ikechi Anya. I thought he's been brilliant in his career. Again, just come into the back end of it, really, and he's not on the bench today. Martin Waghorn is another one who played last time out in that good victory against West Bromwich Albion. And although he said Nugent will run his blood to water, but his stock's not exactly rising, is it, at 34 years of age? David Nugent, watch him score a goal or two today, and he won't stop running. But you know what? You've got to do a little bit more than that. So yeah, I'm looking at their squad. It leaves a lot to be desired. No Craig Bryson either.
No, I'm looking at their squad as well and thinking, how many players have they got that are not playing? You know, this side, that the 11 that they got at Derby, has been pretty much of a muchness for the last 6 months. Where the rest of them been? Just sat there, just. So far, you'd have a game without creating too many chances.
At Pride Park, still goalless. Leeds have woken up and are beginning to look the better team and dominate the affair. This hasn't translated in efforts on target, really, and Keller Roos has had a very decent and easy game to play, but it's Leeds very much dominating possession and territory as well. We saw Luke Ayling beat two, and his cutback was dealt with in the box, but they're getting these little chances and half chances. Lots of energy from Leeds today, but at the moment it's still goalless.
Neat little move there between Ayling and Click, and Ayling's cross was too close to Roos, and that gathered for him as we see Mason Bennett warming up for Derby County. His debut was a 15-year-old for Derby County, had plenty of loan spells as well. Scored against West Brom last week. Here is play with Nugent. Goes back then with Malone. Turn finds Tamori back with Roos. And there's about 5 minutes to go of normal time before the break. We'll get perhaps a couple of minutes due to the injury to Adam Forshaw. And Leeds is walking wounded at the moment to playing okay. They play down the flank. Here's Ayling.
I think they felt that if they could come away from Pride Park with a draw today, that they could get the job done at Ellen Road. But the caveat to that is that this is a Leeds team who doesn't play well without an ice break in between games. So they could have done with a week after this to get them back and fully fit.
When's the next one?
I think it's about 4 days' time,
Wednesday,
isn't it? So we'll just... I knew there's a reason why I'd got the BBC website, and we got sidetracked by looking at the cricket score anyway.
Well, was Phillips manhandled there as the crosser came in? Roof, rather. Not too sure, but Leeds just trying to work it again on that far side. But Derby have it through Holmes, who's looked a menace. And they lose possession. There's a chance now for Roof to drive at the Derby defence. There's players in front of him, but he's got runners down the right. Once Hernandez. Hernandez just outside the area, cuts onto his left boot, can't get the ball across, and Derby will come away with it. Good work there from Mason Mount. Harry Wilson's up front, so is Tom Lawrence, but good challenge comes in there by Berardi, and that will be a throw-in for Derby County.
Yeah, so Wednesday is... I mean, it suits them better than having to play on the Tuesday, which Albion and Villa are going to do in their second leg. But Wednesday's still not that great deal of time. I suppose it could have been worse. Like we said, they could have been playing on Sunday to play back on Tuesday or something. But anyway, so they have a few days to recuperate before another big duke out at Ellen Road. I don't know. Will it suit Derby more to try and play a counter-attacking style? Maybe. At the moment, they don't seem to have any answers for Leeds, do they, really? Yeah. It's still 0-0, so anything could happen, but they don't look good, do they, Derby?
I think Derby will fold under the cacophony of noise at Ellen Road on Wednesday night. Here comes Malone. A lot of faith in Leeds in this game. They may not win at Wembley, but I know what you said before about... sometimes it's easier to lose in the semi-final than lose at Wembley in the final.
But again, I don't know when that playoff final is. But if Leeds get enough time to recuperate, playing the style that they play, I mean, even Wembley could be tailor-made.
Well, yeah, it could be. Big pitch and whatnot. There's a chance to warm down tomorrow. Then Monday and Tuesday. Monday's a light training session. Tuesday's a full training session. The game's on Wednesday night. So there's plenty of time to recuperate there, I would feel. Ball played by Mason Mount.
I think Leeds may well have been undone by what happened at Christmas and then the back end with the fixture congestion and, as it's dealt with. That would certainly be something that Bielsa may not have had to deal with in his career. Obviously in La Liga, they've got to play Copa del Rey and all that stuff as well, don't they? We've seen that. But it's not quite the same intensity. I think the Championship, they had an opportunity to be playing Derby, which, with all due respect, would have been an easier game for them, I feel, than Aston Villa.
Here comes Phillips. Ball back again with Click. And Leeds will work it again down the flank. He's Ayling over the far side this time, trying to get the crossing with his left boot, and he does. Finds Roof, and Ayling can't get the ball under control. Yes, he can. Strike comes in. It's wide of the left-hand post. Was that ball out? Was the Derby players complaining? I don't think it was. It's Dallas with the effort, and Craig Pawson saying, and it was out, and you can stop complaining now, Derby players.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was. It looked like it was, didn't it?
Yeah.
But
when he touched it, he was off the field there.
Yeah, but he might have been off the field, but grabbing the ball, it might have been on.
The whole circumference of the ball, it has to be everything, doesn't it?
Exactly. I mean, who could know whether that ball was out or not? I don't know. Neither team's had an effort on target yet.
But it's still enthralling, isn't it, in this game?
There's no way this could be...
There's no way it could be 0-0. Only a minute of injury time to be played. We've had 40 seconds of that so far, so interesting from Craig Pawson there.
They are cagey affairs, aren't they, traditionally, these games? And, you get the feeling that one mistake, one bit of brilliance... I think they'll go in at half-time and not be thrilled, but just think, right, OK, we're another step closer to it. Anyway, the referee has seen enough, blown his whistle, and there they go, all trooping off for the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence for the shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, click as well. But it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season. And Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. Shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half time by Berardi. But then Leeds did and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. At Pride Park, it's goalless at half-time, and we haven't seen an effort on target. It's been an interesting game of chess, and the Rams started off slightly the brighter. Lawrence with a shot wide, and Nugent played into the inside right, the shot blocked by Berardi. But then Leeds did what they've done all season, started dominating possession and territory, but then really didn't create anything with it. We've seen some dubious shots from Dallas and Luke Ayling, Click as well, but it is goalless at the break. Right then, we're back. At Pride Park, it had been an interesting first half without being great. Obviously, like I said, no shots on target. It means, I wouldn't say dull is the word, but you want a bit of cutting edge, don't you, Paul?
You do. You want something to force the keeper into saves, don't you, really? It has been a battle in midfield. So it's been intriguing. It's not exactly been edge of your seat stuff, but there have been certain sort of subplots going off out there that once they all come together, I think, a bit like Line of Duty, you know.
Don't get me started. Every time I watched that, I must have been sossled or something, because I couldn't remember anything to watch this new series.
I haven't seen the new series yet, so you can't go in.
No, so I'm going to have to
Have to watch it again.
Have to watch it again and again. We'll watch it with a drink in hand, and again not. So anyway, it is what it is. We haven't kicked off yet, so no spoilers there for Line of Duty. But well, we could do with a bit more of a Game of Thrones drama here. No dragons out there at the minute, and yeah, we could do with a few heroes coming to the forefront of the team, really. At the minute, I would say, Derby look rather toothless, don't they? Dwayne Holmes is driving them through the middle. Mason Mount's, unfortunately for him, is having a quiet game today. They need to do more. And again, for both teams, we said there's nothing really on the bench that's any better than what they've got. There's Roof trying to get in the box, but Keogh, who's always experienced, gets goal side. He's still a good player, isn't he, Keogh? I think he's the type who might just have Kemar Roof in his back pocket today.
Yeah, I think you're probably right, using his experience and everything. You also think that maybe that one side's going to capitalise on a mistake by another in this game. You certainly feel that way, looking into it, with no shots on target for either side. So maybe an error could be the way to get a goal. But we shall see.
Yep, ball given away. Leeds pick it back up. Poor play by Wilson. Leeds have their own number 7 laying that ball back. And then they create an overlap down the right-hand side. Ball comes in. Flicked away, and a shot is blocked. And I think Harrison there with the dabbed effort. Blocked by Jaden Bogle, who didn't know too much about it.
A good ball in, wasn't it? Deflection away, which almost fell nicely for Harrison on the volley. And yeah, exactly, Bogle didn't know a great deal about that when that shot came in. Hit the bounce. I think Roos was going the wrong way. But an interesting one on target, but at least they've got something from this Leeds United.
Yeah, they've got a corner kick, another opportunity. But like we said, they're a team of tiddlers, really. One arm in the air for Calvin Phillips as the ball comes in, and there's sort of a half a header there, and then a terrible ball back in. That ball's not come down. Where's that ball gone? That ball just vanished. That was that bad from Phillips.
Yeah.
He hit it back across, wait for the ball to drop and go out for a throw or whatever. It never came back down.
No, exactly. So shows you how poor that one was. But a header that came in from Cooper before was cleared back out to Phillips. And Phillips then Men in Blacked it, didn't he? Got rid of it.
Well, so far at least the Rams getting their blocks in, but now it's a foul in the middle of the park. Shackleton is brought down. Phillips then playing out for the back with Cooper. And playing one-touch football there. Leeds keeping that ball alive. And doing okay, working the sting out, but just going backwards for the minute. Balling out to Dallas, who shows way too much of that to Wilson. I thought they had to foul him. You could read his mind there, couldn't you, Dallas, what he had to do. 2 options. He tried to force it down the line, his left foot, but he looks uncomfortable doing that, doesn't he?
Yeah, it certainly does. Just it's horses for courses job, isn't it, really? Just got to put a band-aid over that side of things and hope for the best. Don't know if they're going to be fit for Wednesday night or not, so see how it goes.
Yeah, according to Sky, Derby are playing 4-1-4-1 today, but I don't think they are. And if they are, they'd have to be disappointed with the amount of support given to their fullbacks today. But anyway, Keller Roos makes a mistake and just boots the ball up in the air. It takes a bounce, it's gone out. Leeds have been dominating possession, not doing a great deal with it, but maybe just need a little bit of luck in this second half. Bielsa looks on as the throw is ridiculous. Long throw goes straight out for a goal kick. I don't think Leeds worry too much about losing the ball. Their strategy is win it back, throw bodies forward, and play the ball early. And if you're playing it that early, you're bound and you're tending to make mistakes. There's a strong challenge from Berardi around the back of... is that Wilson who's down?
It could be.
But anyway, the Liverpool loanee will pick himself back up. And the referee having a word with Dwayne Holmes. Don't know if he just chipped up or said something there. So, yeah, both teams have a lot of youth out there. Harry Wilson's only 22. You know, that sounds older, doesn't it? But he's still just a kitten, really, relatively. As Leeds playing out from the back now. Calvin Phillips, decent ball out to Roof. Can he hold it up? Well, he did all right there under pressure from Keogh.
I mean, with all respect to him, Harry Wilson, I can't see him breaking into the Liverpool side.
No,
I know he's only young and highly thought of, but I don't see it right now, and he's 22, you know. So
yeah, that's right, isn't it? You know, they'd let lots of players go. The guy went to Bournemouth, whose name escapes me.
Jordan Ibe, is it?
Yeah, Jordan Ibe. One of those. They'd let a few players like that go. And the ball has gone out there, out on that left-hand side. Malone, another mistake, but, well, he got the decision there. A little bit lucky, wasn't he?
Yeah, certainly was.
Assistant down that far side. Must have been blinded by the sun. But the Karma police are out in force as Leeds have the ball back almost instantly. And Anders over the halfway line, held up by Lawrence, trying the killer ball. And if only Kemar Roof would have let that one go, it might have broke through to Shackleton. In the end, Roof's having his little battle, but he's losing the war there.
Yeah.
You know, he's not big enough to be scrapping with either of the centre-backs today.
No.
He needs to find a gap between them, you know, or play on the shoulder of those guys.
It Leeds today, and I know it probably wouldn't fit into what Bielsa wants at his side, but Leeds today look like they need Chris Wood or something like that, you know, if they still had him.
On the ball, actually, didn't he?
Call that from Roof, in actual fact. Frustration.
He could easily
before.
He could easily got a card for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think their portion really helped him out without, you know, by not carding him. He might have deserved one as well. Calvin Phillips then going shoulder to shoulder with Lawrence. In fact, Zayling. I don't know what's been given. If it's a free kick, he's unlucky. If it's the ball came off him or him, then it's one of those things, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, it seemed to scrape off Lawrence before it went out. But anyway, Derby 0, Leeds 0. Not been a great second half really for Derby, but they've got a chance now. I think free kick given. Keogh Moses into the box. Cooper's looking for him, but can Wilson find him? Right, real good opportunity. I said they're a bigger team. They could take advantage now, the Rams. They haven't been good in this game so far. Will it be the first effort on target? Ball comes in. Dodley waiting near post. Terrible ball. Terrible ball in. Got another opportunity now. Just floats a long ball in. Tomori gets the little flick on. And it might break through the box. They've still held on to the ball. Then Mount, I think, just trying this and that. He flicks the ball in. Roof's first touch lets him down. He's trying to play out in the counter. And they might have an opportunity now as the ball breaks to one of those garish blue shirts. But the ball goes out courtesy of Holmes. Let's have a recap. We're still Derby 0, Leeds 0. And still both goalkeepers have had a quiet time. Leeds started the half off quite well. We saw Harrison's shot deflected wide. Jaden Bogle putting the block in, didn't know too much about that. We saw a Cooper header from the ensuing corner as well blocked. They still look slightly the better team, I would have said. As well, we see a great opportunity now. The ball thumped into the back of the net by Kemar Roof. A brilliant ball from out on the left-hand side into his path. They're running into the box, inside right. Right foot finish. Derby 0, Leeds 1.
Fantastic stuff from Kemar Roof, that was, and great work and great cross play from Leeds United. Caught Derby napping, didn't they? Great work from Dallas and lovely little nick as well from the far side. They tried to drive into the area. There was no hint of offside, but Roof there got in front of his marker, a slot across into the back of the net, and a very important goal that for Leeds United to break the deadlock. And it's Kemar Roof now. He's got one big opportunity, the first chance on goal for Leeds United. First shot on target in the game for either side, and it's the ball into the back of the net. Exactly what Leeds wanted that, and Kemar Roof is the man to do it as well. What a vital goal that is for Leeds United.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, he took that really well, didn't he? But it was a smashing ball in from the left-hand side. I wonder who it was with the assist there, because it was a left-footed ball in, something, well, it can't be Dallas. Tom Lawrence got booked just after that. I don't know what that was about.
I think it might have been Harrison. I don't know. It could have been Harrison. We couldn't quite see who that was, because Dallas was way back, wasn't he?
Well, we'll find out in the fullness of time anyway about who did what to who. I mean, they've been the better team, haven't they? So it's no great surprise. But anyway, Frank Lampard looks a bit downcast. Again, you know, we talked about it. They're a bad fit, aren't they, for Leeds? Or Leeds are a good fit, if you like, if you're a Leeds fan. You know, sometimes you come against a team and, you know, they've got stuff on you. Here's Kemar Roof, breaks through again. An opportunity this time. The shot is saved. Well, that could have made it 2-0. And essentially that could have put Derby out of it, I think. But anyway, Roof thinks about what might have been.
Yeah, Roof there with a low shot. Good save from Roos that time, wasn't it? To his left-hand side. There were certainly two players that Leeds had who could have equally had an opportunity on goal then. Kelly Roos saving well then for Kemar Roof, but Leeds putting Derby under real pressure now, and they've got a set piece here. The header that goes wide, and Roof complained that he's had his shirt pulled. He was not going to buy anything there. But Leeds looking good so far. Let's have a look again. It's that ball forward from Harrison. Roof, who was free? It was Click, was free there, look.
I mean, I don't mind that.
No.
For Roof, it's a shot on target, and, you know, he brought out a good save, you know. So I think we give credit to Keller Roos for keeping his team in it there. I did think that Leeds would be happy with a draw from this game, and obviously that goal certainly gives them something to hang on to. If we thought that they were going to tank and get tired after a long season, again, it's something for them to hang on to, isn't it?
Yeah, certainly is. I see 11 attempts for Leeds, but say only 2 on target. Derby at home. Leeds have done their job so far. We've still got plenty of time to go in this game. Effectively, we're only into the second quarter, aren't we, of it? So
a long way to go. Yeah. You know, it's amazing how quickly things can turn. What Leeds have got to do, I guess, for them is keep up the energy levels that they got on the front foot. That got them the goal. You know, they cannot do that thing where you sit back and hope for the best, you know. No. They haven't done that for most of the season. They tend to, you know, just carry on, keep on keeping on, if you like. But the tendency would be, wouldn't it, just to rest on their laurels a little bit, and then that might allow Derby back into the game. Plenty of time for Derby to go and grab goals out of this, as we see Cooper defending his goal.
Yeah, good stuff. It was Harrison's delivery into Roof for the goal. So he's looked lively, Jack Harrison, hasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's played particularly well for a lot this season. But that ball, I mean, it's the ball that makes the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
He cuts out 3 Derby players, and almost the goalkeeper puts a perfect position. In the end, that pass is so good that Kemar Roof can pass it into the back.
Yeah,
of the
exactly. Net. Yeah, side foot it into the corner. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Really good stuff. There. I didn't realise how much the technical areas are quite really close together here, aren't they? Pride Park. Bielsa pounding his area along with his assistant, who wears through trainers, I'm sure. Frank Lampard himself, though, looking a little bit more forlorn and sharply dressed inside the.
Well, Bielsa looks like he's sat on his bucket, but then you think, actually, they're in the bucket there. So he sort of crouched down, isn't he? Anyway, we're about an hour into the game. Derby 0, Leeds 1. Yeah, it's a very good goal. There's a late challenge from Thompson, and that's how he got booked. No. So he let play go on there.
Advantage.
So credit to Craig Pawson as well, and again, super credit to Jack Harrison. Looks like Derby are blinking first with the moves on the bench, and you mentioned Jack Marriott, and he will be the man who's got to come on and make the change, because they need something else. So he's only 5'8", little striker, 32 appearances for Derby, just 7 goals in there. But they look like they need goals, don't they?
Born in Humberside, Beverley, so he could be a Leeds fan. So
yeah, or Hull,
but yeah,
bit of enmity between those two.
I mean, in the 90s, there were more Leeds fans than Hull. That's completely
I think so. Hull crept up, didn't they? And anyway, I always thought a major surprise how that was turned around, that project, and then Hull were in the top flight was brilliant, wasn't it? But for a lot of these teams, very difficult to sustain that, really. And here come Derby, though. Anyway, they're playing out now and in the opposition half. Looked like a fairly cheaply bought free kick there from Harrison. Just trying to stop Dwayne Holmes in his strike. In fact, it was Jaden Bogle. Well, there we go. I mean, Bogle now playing the opposition half. That's something that we haven't seen. Mason Mount now gets on the ball, and these kids have been strangers to it. You know, the Derby boys need to stand up right now.
Yeah, I'll come to that point in a second.
Mount then ball in. That's an easy take for Casilla.
If you look at the middle of the park there, they got Keogh, they got Bradley Johnson, David Nugent, an experienced spine of that team they've got today. We've not seen head and hair of Bradley Johnson in this match. Overall, the former Leeds player. Nugent's run around a lot, not really got involved. No shots on target says a lot of what he's done. They need to step up because these are just kids around them. They need the experience.
I think, in a weird sort of way, I think Leeds like playing against those experienced or older teams. You know, with those players that, you know, use their savvy more than their running, because Leeds will outrun those guys, and that makes life easier. You know, if you're experienced and great on the ball, that's terrific, but you need to get that ball first. Bradley Johnson does make a break now, beats the challenge 0-2. He's at the edge of the area. He finds Wilson, who dabs a ball in at the far post. Real opportunity here, but a terrific challenge by Shackleton. Well, the Leeds youngster there was the right man at the right point, and he did well. And now Leeds on the counter-attack. Derby have tried to get bodies forward, but Leeds now driving forward on that right-hand side with Shackleton, asking a lot of himself now, but he's into the box, cuts back. Oh, and that is just behind Pablo Hernandez. That was a close run thing, all right. And then it's a challenge in the middle of the park that looked like a foul, and that will go to Derby.
Oh, gosh, what a move. They did everything right there, Leeds. Everything right. The one touch, the balls forward were great, and it was just the angle of trying to get it into Hernandez there was just slightly awry, wasn't it? And Berardi's just picking up a yellow card for a foul there on Nugent. But you see the ball forward from Shackleton. Great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the way he drives in there is brilliant. And that cutback's not terrible, is it?
No.
It's just one of those things. You know, he's striking for it with his right boot. Hernandez, when maybe he should have been looking to hit it with his left. Looks like Nugent's run his race then. Gaetano Berardi is booked. The one change out of Leeds' side. The Swiss tends to get booked. He's combative and he puts a foot in. So, that was Nugent off, and the younger man, Jack Marriott, coming on. He's 10 years younger. And he did pretty well at Peterborough, didn't he? 27 goals in 44. Not so vital at Luton before that, but maybe in his pomp right now.
I can see him bringing Mason Bennett on as well. In a bit, perhaps going 2 up front.
You know, Wilson makes a break, beats one player. Cooper brings him down at the edge of the area, and he's going to get a yellow card now. Both the centre backs carded. It's a bit early in the piece for Leeds to be doing this. Some desperation in that, and Cooper strong arm in Wilson. Free kick, dangerous area now. Leeds are not good at siege defending. They're really not. They need to keep their ethics right, playing the front foot. Derby have got a brilliant opportunity here to get their first effort on target.
You're looking at Wilson, aren't you? Free kick specialist. Saw him score a wonder goal at Old Trafford for Derby in a EFL Cup tie. And he's no stranger to these situations. He'll be going for goal. And it's a good angle for him to the right of centre for a left footer. Chance to swerve it into the top corner. These are dangerous times for Leeds.
Yep, they sure are. Kika Casilla taking a look. Mason Mount stood there. Wilson's there. It's on the right. Surely it's going to be a left foot strike. You can see it's still in his post at the minute, just lining up his wall, making sure that is right. Harry Wilson. 7 goals from outside the box, which puts him as top dog in the division. You can see here very central, letting his wall do the work. Right then, up he steps, and that one is headed away by the Leeds rear guard. I think it might have been Calvin Phillips. As now Derby trying to get the cross in. That's blocked up in the air. Shackleton fights for it. Calvin Phillips heads away, and Derby will have to recycle that ball. Let's have a little recap of what we've just seen. At Pride Park, it's Derby 0, Leeds United 1. Leeds might have made it 2 after Kemar Roof's goal. He had a shot about a minute afterwards, and I thought play opened up nicely for him. Derby trying to get back on the front foot, gave the ball away, and this time Kemar Roof's shot was saved by Keller Roos, diving to his left. That was a good save. Pablo Hernandez, and that could have been another effort. We just had a disappointing free kick for Derby, who are trying to get back in it.
Yeah, they certainly are. It is a good battle between these two. Keogh, they're guilty of a foul, so a yellow card for another centre half in this game. So that's 3 out of the 4. Kemar Roof was the man penalised. Keogh and Roof had a real battle, but good work here from Harrison to move that ball backwards then to play into the middle for Leeds with Phillips. And Leeds will just work it again. So Leeds got that goal. They're going to do everything they can to keep hold of that lead and not let Derby into this fixture.
Yeah, exactly that. I think they've sort of demonstrated that they've got it over Derby this season. That the way they match up, that they've got a bit too much power, or that their work rate just annihilates Derby's passing game. As Calvin Phillips then adjudged to have fouled his man in midfield, Dwayne Holmes. Indeed, the free kick's gone the other way. Holmes there was just stepped on the ball, and then he's trying to block it off. It didn't look like that to me initially. Handball it was from Holmes, who then wouldn't let the free kick be taken, so he's the next in the book. Wow.
Craig Pawson's really issuing him now, isn't he? He must have found his pencil.
Yeah. You like the Pringles referee, isn't it? When you pop, you can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
But free kick anyway. Good enough time to hand over. We are 3/4 of the way through this game now. Derby 0, Leeds 1. Paul's going to take us through to full time.
Phillips to take this free kick. Thank you, John. Halfway inside the Derby half. Ball floated to the back post, looking for Cooper, who threw himself to the ground. Rather spectacularly. Yeah, 3 players around him.
Do you know what? That's terrible. And we do see players get booked for simulation. I don't know what he's thinking about there, Liam Cooper.
Well, he's already on a yellow card as well.
Exactly. I mean, it's a silly hands on the back by Bradley Johnson. But, I mean, you said, if you feel anything go down. Mm-hmm. Well, no, don't. He looked at Burke there, didn't he, Cooper, I think?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. A little bit silly from him. And he's lucky not to get a second yellow from Craig Pawson. Long clearance away, bobbling around, but Derby and Leeds come together. Shackleton there on Bogle.
He's done all right. We said it'd be difficult for him to lay a marker down, Shackleton, but actually he's done very well since he's come on. He's scampering around. Dwayne Holmes now has run his race, and I think that's a shame because he offered something that Leeds didn't like to deal with. You said Mason Bennett had come on, didn't you? Yeah,
he's a favourite, born in Shirebrook, Derbyshire, and he's quite a veteran now. He's made his debut at 15 years old, so
yeah, knocking around for a while. 7 years at the club then. He's been on loan at some good clubs, Bradford, Burton, Notts County.
And some others as well.
Yeah, Chesterfield he's been at as well. Yeah. So, England under-19s and all that. Quite a while ago now.
A veteran, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Of that. Phillips there penalised for a free kick. 20 to go. Derby 0, Leeds 1. It's getting a little tense. Wilson again was caught. You feel a bit aggrieved as he was kicked off the park, wasn't he, Wilson? We'll hear that after the game. Targeted, but
You got to be careful, though, don't you, Will? The Wisp players can. I said that they're not tall. They're certainly not. But mind you, Bennett, who's just come on, he's only 5'11". They say he doesn't look that big, but yeah, they're not a tall team, so they've got to be careful that they don't concede too many of these set pieces.
Yeah, you look at Johnson up against Mateusz Klich, and he's twice the size of him, isn't he? And against Berardi as well. Free kick then taken by Mason Mount into the area. Good header away by Phillips. Playing that sort of defensive role really well, isn't he, Phillips? Just in front of the back four. Like to see him. Long ball forward. Roos comes out of his area to clear. Does he clear long enough? Well, Tamori can knock the header forward, and a chance now for Derby to come forward. Mason Bennett moves away to the right hand side, but Wilson has it. Wilson goes square, trying to find Lawrence. Here's a cross that comes in from Maloney. It's in front of everybody and out of play for a throw over the far side. And that was close as Derby have come for some while now.
Do you know what? It's the only thing I've really written down for them the second half.
Yeah.
It's a great cross, isn't it? Just begging for somebody to get in there.
Malone again.
Good ball, that.
Yeah, I was wondering why Malone was keeping Forsyth out the side. And I don't know if Forsyth's injured or not, but probably that's the reason why he tends to get forward a little bit more. Because certainly defensive-wide, Malone has been caught wanting.
He looked nervous, didn't he? Like we said, he's 28, he's not a kid. But sometimes the older you get, the more nervous you get when it's a big deal, you know.
Yeah.
Kids just, well, if it doesn't work out this time, well, I'll go do playoffs again next year, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're longer in the tooth. You think these days don't roll around that often, you know. Bit of tomfoolery there. The ball, bit of time wasting going on. Stuart Dallas saying he flung that ball at me head, and Craig Pawson now not having any of it.
Yes, a bit of kidology there. Throwing down the line, looking for Roof. Roof's feeling the side of his face. That battle with Keogh, isn't it? That time it was Bogle, I think it was, who caught him. But the ball's out of play again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think every single one of the back four is taller than Kemar Roof for Derby, and could probably beat him in an arm wrestle. But that doesn't matter, does it? Because we talked about what he needed to do. He needed to play on the shoulder and find some space. And for the goal, is exactly what he did, you know.
Yeah.
He found a little gap. He was waiting for a great ball to him. He had the belief it would come. It did. And then he tucked his shot away quite nicely. But like we said, the pass made the goal, really.
Yeah, it certainly did. Roof's complaining to referee Pawson again. With a free kick for Derby. There's it's under 17 minutes to go. And Leeds now really need to sort of kill the game, slow it down, stop Derby coming forward.
I think the other thing is that they're still throwing bodies forward. Look how far they pressed up the pitch there. Tamori does really well playing out of the press, by the way. But they keep chasing, herring after the ball, putting pressure on the ball. You know, they can still score on the counter-attack because although they are forced to go back, they're always driving towards the ball, the Leeds.
Here's Mount trying to get the cross in, straight into the arms there of Kiko Casilla. He's done well there. Yeah, I'm really impressed by Calvin Phillips today. I know he's come in for some criticism this season, or minor criticism.
Yeah, he's had his off days. He's played well and badly, and you know that's that. But he's turned up today, hasn't he? And played well. You know, I'm very disappointed with Mason Mount today. He just flicked that ball in. He just thought percentage ball in. You know, if you're going to play for Chelsea, you're going to have to do a good deal better than that.
I think there's a reason, isn't there? Phillips seems to be man marking him. He's all over the park watching him in this second half. Just sat in front of that back four. Mount, you're going nowhere. I'm going to follow you everywhere you go.
Now, don't tell me they've been watching Mount, seeing what he does and deciding that they're going to shut him down.
Yeah.
The thing is, you'd have to give great credit to Bielsa. Win, lose or draw this season, I think he's set a very average bunch up to do as well as they can. And we know how methodical he is with what he's done. all that Spygate nonsense. The press conference after that was astonishing in how boring and dry all the stats are that they fished through in order to find a way. And then all he goes and does, he tells them to go out and play one-touch football. I mean, it seems crazy, really, but they've got massive confidence in how he approaches it all. He's very professional, and you kind of like that. Well, we've done all we can off the field. We've looked at them, we've considered them, but we're still going to play our way.
Yeah.
At the minute, Leeds are proving to be the better team.
And all you want from your boss really is to be professional, don't you? Look, this is how we're going to play against that. I want to believe in you. I want to come along for the ride and whatnot. And it's been a ride for Leeds and their supporters this season. It's been fantastic. The ups and downs of it. Even if it ends in this semi-final, there's always next season.
It is. You just wonder for them how many seasons there might be with Bielsa at the helm. At which point did he just say, right, I'm off back to Buenos Aires, where they?
Well, then somebody needs to learn how he takes it on, how he does it, how methodical it is, and there's got to be somebody out there. There's proteges all over the place. I mean, they're not saying they're going to get Guardiola, but Guardiola loves Bielsa, doesn't he? So he's sort of read his coaching manual and everything.
Oh yeah, but I do think it's one thing playing with a style like that, but actually living it and being him. He's got conviction, hasn't he? He really has about this is the way to do it. Lesser men. Here we see them break into the box, and is there a penalty shout there? Big screams as did Harrison catch his man? Referee, as he pointed to the spot, he may well have done, because hands on heads for Leeds. So it's a penalty kick. Harrison adjudged to have brought his man down. Great chance for Derby to get back in the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure any contact at all, really, but on first glance, Keogh and Cooper, they're having a word, and they're going to speak to the linesman. Keogh's annoyed that Cooper spoke to the referee, asking him to go and speak to the linesman. Now, Keogh looks at the judge, but Keogh's acting a little bit childish there.
He just threw a punch there, almost, Keogh, didn't he? I don't know what he's thinking about.
I think he's just got the mards on, thinking that now the linesman here is going to make a decision. Did he come across? Did he touch him? What's the referee said? It's not a penalty. Bradley Johnson's not happy. Keogh's going to be apoplectic with the rage here.
I think it's great refereeing.
Yeah, I don't think there was a touch there. We haven't seen a replay, but Frank Lampard turns away in disgust, but doesn't.
So who's he adjudged to brought down there? Jayden Bogle?
I think so. So it's the linesman had the better view than the referee.
I think the